You're listening to Million Dollar Restaurant Marketing Podcast with Wayne Hyun, episode number 2. Welcome to Million Dollar Restaurant Marketing Podcast, where I help you build your next restaurant empire, work less, and sell more. What's up, guys? It's good to be back. I was sick for last 2 weeks. I was in a really bad condition. It wasn't like I broke my arms or broke my legs. Like I had a very serious infection in my throat and in my mouth, which made me almost dying. Like I couldn't even talk. Like I couldn't even eat. It was very hard for me to drink water. Like can you guys imagine that? Like man, trust me, it was brutal. I was dying, and so I couldn't do any type of contents. Sorry, I couldn't do any like YouTube or Instagram or contents. Like I was bad, and now I'm finally back to my podcast, and I feel great to be back. So, let's hop into today's topic real quick. So today's secret I would like to share with you guys is why restaurants fail. In my past experience, for my whole career as a chef, as a content creator, as a digital marketer, I've been consulting. I've been working for restaurants, for so many restaurants, and I found these common things to restaurants who fail. So I've been working at these restaurants, from restaurants who've been failing, or restaurants who've been doing multi 7-8 figures a year, and I experienced these clear differences between those restaurants, and I found these 3 things that I want to share with you guys today. Definitely there's clear difference between those restaurants, and there's a reason why restaurants fail. Definitely, it's not a luck. It's not they're successful because they're lucky. It's not successful. Like they're not successful because they invested so much money on it. It's not because they're doing something different. It's just, they're not successful because they're lucky, right? They're doing something different. They're doing something that most people don't do, and in this podcast, I would like to share with you guys these 3 things that I see most successful restaurants are doing, but on the other hand, those restaurants who are failing are not doing. So, number 1 is operational issues. Obviously, operational issues that affect the quality of service and a product. This means the way how you operate your kitchen and your front of house or your whole restaurant, it affects the quality of your product. So, which means your drink, food, or your service. People, underestimate the importance of operation. What kind of tools you use. How you set up your workflow, how you set up your kitchen, how you set up your, this whole workflow system. Like people underestimate the importance of it. They were just like, oh, we are just a small restaurant, so I would just use this tool in like cheaper tool or cheaper equipments instead of those expensive ones because I can't afford it. Or like we're a small restaurant, so we won't hire this much of people. Those big restaurants, they have money, so they're hiring a lot of people. We can't afford it, so I'm just doing it on my own. Those kind of mindsets, like this kind of actions and this kind of things, these kind of thoughts, these are actually ruining your business. When at the same time, when you can go around those big restaurant chains and those established big brands, you can just try to work there for a couple of months or even a year, just see how they do, how they operate, how they systemize their workflow, and then obviously you can't just take everything from there and just put it in your business, but at least you can implement those good things that they're doing to your business to make your business better. which I also recommend a lot of small business owners, small restaurant owners, to do. Yeah, those operational issues are the biggest thing. And this actually happens to a lot of people who have no experience at all in restaurant industry. When you've been working in a restaurant industry for a long time, you automatically know those things that the successful restaurants do. Like even though you don't want to learn it, you just know. Naturally you just know. Like imagine just people who just work in a construction place. Like they don't have to learn anything. They just with just staying there, there's a knowledge that you could learn. You know, it just applies to every people. Like even though you don't want to learn anything, if you just stay in this tribe, in a certain tribe, in a certain community, you just learn things automatically, even though you don't want to. Just by looking at it, by experiencing it, right? And yeah, so what I recommend is if you're a restaurant owner, if you're planning to open a restaurant and you don't have any restaurant background or kitchen background, like that's totally fine. A lot of people they open restaurants without any background, they're successful. Like that's fine. But it's just about increasing the probability of being successful. And if you look at those people who have no experience in restaurant industry and they open a restaurant, they're successful. If you look at them carefully, they're genius, or they're really experienced in business skills, which I'm going to share in the next point. Yeah, if you have no experience in restaurant industry, that's fine, but you have to learn all the things about business skills, sales, marketing, advertising, all these business skills that that help you to grow your business and move your business forward. And yeah, that was the first point. And I see the biggest issue with those restaurants who are failing. They have just poor operation system. They're just not doing it right. They're doing sometimes they're just doing weird things. And like I've experienced one restaurant who were selling a piece of croissant for like $5. I mean, which is quite pricey too. And they're taking 4 days to make a croissant, which like they're not doing it inefficiently, but they're doing some fancy stuff. Like they're trying to put their energy, they're trying to put their love in it. They're taking so much time to just build one croissant, and they're selling it for $6, which doesn't make sense, right? If you're taking those couple days, like 3-4 days to make a small little croissant, you should be selling it for a price that makes sense, which for people it's not going to make sense. You cannot sell a croissant for like $10-12. But if you're going to do that, you have to know how to communicate that $12 value to people. You have to be in the right location, you have to be talking to the right people, and everything that counts. And that's all the necessary business skills that you need to learn. And yeah, if you're running a restaurant and if you see an issue in your operation procedures, research, go try to work at another restaurant, see how they do, or even join the restaurant community, to ask people how they do. There's no right answer, but there's a lot of efficient way of doing it right. Okay. And number two reason, the second reason I want to, the second secret I would like to share with you guys is putting wrong food at the wrong place, which kind of sound is a common sense, but a lot of people, ignore it as well. They just think of a product that they would like to sell, and they would just get a cheap location, somewhere in the city, which has no traffic. It's not popular. You don't have any community in there, but you just go in there because the rent is cheap, and you're just doing whatever that you would like to do, and your business is going down. It's not selling. People are not coming, and you're complaining, oh, why people are not coming? Of course, people are not coming. Like you're in a weird location, right? and people give like weird reasons. Then what should I do? Like the rent is cheap, the rent is so expensive out there, I can't go out there. I mean, like that's a very irresponsible excuse in my opinion. If you choose to be in a weird location that has no traffic, then you should be able to learn, you should have learned the basic skills of business, of positioning and marketing and advertising, which help you to build the right product for that right location, right? You can't be selling, what would be a good example? You can't be selling $50 hot dog, just in I mean $50, okay, $50 pasta in a location whereas people's average income is less than $30,000. It's just not gonna work. If your community, if the location that you're serving, the average people of household income is less than $30,000 to $40,000 a year, and you're selling a very high quality fine dining $50 pasta, it's not gonna work. Like no one's gonna buy it. Like it's not because they don't want to, it's just they can't afford it, right? Like you have to think about these things too. But at the same time, if you're selling $50 pasta in the middle of downtown core, well, where people are just going out for party and taking people for date nights, you know, it's gonna work. You know, people don't really care about if the pasta costs like $20 or 30, 40, 50. If they're looking for a quality experience and quality environment, quality service, they're not gonna care if the pasta costs like 30, 40, $50, which, you know, in my area, the pasta sells for like 40, $50, people just buy it. Crazy. Even the Thai restaurant that's near my place in the middle of core downtown, they sell it for $22 plus, you know, additional $2-3 for like shrimp, right? It's like $25 plus tips plus taxes, like almost 30, 34, 35 a plate of pad thai. Man, like it's always not about the price. It's not always about the work that you're putting in. Is sometimes it's all about putting the right product at the right place, and that's a secret that I would like to share. And most places that I worked before, they're making this mistake so bad, and I've seen really few of restaurants who are doing this right. We're nailing this stage, and yeah, like people are just failing. People are, it's like it's not working. You know, they're complaining. They're sad. I hate to see that. I hated to see that, and yeah, these things are something that I would like to share. And number three is the most important reason, which is lack of digital marketing campaign. You know, sometimes, you know, there are a lot of times restaurants out there, like they're doing the right operation, they're doing the right, you know, they're setting the right food at the right place, but you know, people just don't know their awareness. Like people don't really know if they exist, right? That's something you can overcome with digital marketing campaign. Like I walk around the streets and I see a lot of those big restaurants or even selling a great product in the right place, and they're just not advertised. Like people don't know they exist. And nowadays in 2022, 2023, social media is everything. Like attention is everything. It's not like before, you know, there was no internet, there was no social media. Like only way to grow your business was organic outreach and cold outreach for restaurants. You know, you put a flyer, you put a banner in front of the restaurant, and word of mouth was the only way of advertising and marketing your restaurant. Right now, it's just so much different. Organic marketing is dying, and it's just not working properly, right? Like organic marketing has to work in order for digital marketing to work, but you know what people need to prioritize is your digital marketing strategy and campaigns. You need to know how to run ads. You need to know how to create content. You should know how to communicate with people through online. You should know how to create an offer. You should know how to create a product, online product, to serve your community, right? And there's a lot of restaurant chains. If you look at those big restaurant groups that are super successful, who's doing multi 8 figures a year, they have like 5, 6, 7, 8 different locations and doing all different concepts. It's not like a franchise. Their restaurant group and their location one is Italian, location two is like French, three is Thai, four is like Japanese. If you look at those big restaurant groups, they have they're just investing so much money on digital marketing. They have, you know, they have a director of marketing, they have social media marketer, they have like couple, like two or three, four social media marketers, they have photographer, they have videographers, right? Like if you have 5 to 7 or 8 staffs in one department, that's already, how much is that? That's already like 300, 400,000 a year, like excluding the ad spend. It's not counting the money they spend on ad spend. Only the human resource they're spending that much money, right? So that's the thing. Like those are the things that you need to benchmark from those big restaurant chains. They're spending ad spend. They're spending money on their ads. They're spending money on their human resource, right? On a labor cost. And if you're a small restaurant and you're not participating any type of digital marketing campaign, you need to allocate some of your sales, certain percentage of your sales, to digital marketing to create contents, to execute those campaigns, to run ads. That's the way. That's actually the easiest way to increase your awareness, the fastest way to increase your awareness, and potentially a long-term way you can increase your brand awareness and potentially increase your sales. Rather than just, it doesn't matter where you are. If you open a restaurant, there's like always a blog, or there's always like a food blog company in your city where they would just come to you and, hey, like, congratulations for opening your restaurant, and we would like to come in and take your photos and write a good blog about your restaurant. And people say, okay, like, sounds good. And they come in, take photos, and, they write a blog. And just because of their, social presence, you guys get a lot of, followers. And first few months, there's a lot of traffic coming in, and you guys are doing good sales. And after that, and your restaurant, people stopped coming in. The traffic, start to get lower. That's not a good way of long run your marketing campaign. So the best way is to study digital marketing strategies and learn how to create content, learn how to run ads, learn how to manage those customer relations, and do it by yourself, or just hire one person, right? Just hire one person to take care of it. So right now, in my opinion, in restaurant industry, digital marketer is like general manager and chef. That's something you cannot compromise. You cannot have a chef. Like, you must have a chef in order to run a restaurant. You must have a general manager in order to run a restaurant. And digital marketer right now is also someone like chef. It's not a human resource. It's not a labor that you cannot, like, it's not a labor that you can negotiate. You can compromise. Like, you should not compromise a digital marketer for anything else. You need to hire them. So if you own a restaurant, if you're planning to open a restaurant, just think about these three things and how many of them are you actually thinking? How many of them are you actually planning to execute? Are you planning on a proper operation procedures and setting up a proper system? And are you trying to put your product in the right place? Is your product going to work? Did you research a proper demographics? And finally, are you trying to participate in a digital marketing campaign? I've never seen a restaurant who's doing all of these three things properly and they're failing. It's impossible. It's just impossible. And as my whole career as a chef, I've seen restaurants who's doing a proper operations. They have a proper product in the right place, and they're participating in a digital marketing campaign. And they're failing. I've never seen that before. And if you're a restaurateur, you should agree. Like, it's not gonna happen. So on the other hand, you reverse engineer. If you're planning to open a restaurant, you're already running a restaurant. If you think about these three things, that you're nailing these three things, that you're not successful, it's impossible, man. It's impossible. So, yeah, if you're not increasing your sales, if you're stuck at certain revenue, I'm sure there's something wrong with one of these three things. And I just hope anyone who's listening to this podcast get the value out of this. And if you get value out of this, please go and go learn and go research these three: operation, marketing, and sales, to improve your restaurant business, to move your restaurant forward. And I genuinely hope that every restaurateurs in around the world, I don't want them to suffer. I genuinely want them to succeed, and I genuinely want people to look at restaurateurs with respect, and I genuinely want that. That's the reason why I run this podcast too. I want to give a lot of values to people. I want to create a positive impact to a lot of restaurateurs around the world. All right, so yeah, I would like to call it a day, and I think this podcast, I think this episode was really valuable this time, and this was something that I really wanted to share with you guys for a long time, and I will be definitely I'll be talking about this multiple times in the future too. Just keep updated with my thoughts and with the new ideas, with trends, right? Okay, guys, then I hope you guys find this helpful, and if you guys are interested, if you guys want to learn, if you guys want to learn more about how our company execute these digital marketing campaigns and how we create contents, how we consult those operation procedures, just click the link in my bio and just go into my business and take our free resources, implement in your restaurant. Worst case, you guys want to connect with us, just call us. We are really happy to help you. We are here for you, and I hope you guys see success. All right, and yeah, I'll see you in the next podcast. Until then, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.